Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you a what I eat in a day, and this will actually be pregnancy edition. At the time of filming this, I am 16 weeks and some change. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Becca, welcome. I'm a registered dietitian, so I'm obviously very passionate about nutrition, but I'm also very passionate about intuitive eating, listening to my own body, not external, plans or guides or rules. I eat a lot of really whole real food because A, that's what is most nourishing, but it's also what makes me feel my best. So I very much listen to my own cues, and that to me is the healthiest way that you could possibly eat because it does allow for balance, but without all the mental gymnastics and the stress and the tracking and any of that just like nonsense in my opinion. So in today's video, I'm just gonna be taking you guys around casually, sharing with you what I am eating throughout the day. As far as pregnancy goes, I really don't eat very differently. I'm still basically just kind of intuitive eating through my pregnancies, which I feel like has actually been the biggest gift because it does allow you to, enjoy certain cravings that you might have without going overboard. I've never gotten in like the mind trap of, well, it's like this is my only chance to eat whatever I want and just kind of like go crazy. So I've always been able to, have healthy pregnancies, I think largely in part of this, largely in part of this mindset. You guys know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so I don't really do anything different during pregnancy other than maybe eating a little bit more. I very much go off of my own hunger cues, and throughout pregnancy, my appetite tends to fluctuate and I just kind of roll with it. And it's never steered me wrong. But the other thing that I probably focus on is, still real whole nutrient dense foods, but I have like an extra focus on protein, making sure I'm trying to eat protein every time I eat. One, because that helps me so much when I'm feeling really sick in the early months of pregnancy, but it's also just really important, especially in that third trimester, your protein needs are like through the roof. So it's a focus that I always have. I'm always trying to eat in a way that's balanced, that's going to be great as far as how it impacts my blood sugar. But during pregnancy, it's like especially even more so a focus of mine. So that's pretty much it. If you guys want to see what I eat in a day, let's get to it. Good morning, you guys. So we're eating breakfast. How's your breakfast, everybody?
Good.
Good. We're having one of our family favorites, which is a Dutch baby. I've shared this on my channel. It's been years now since I've shared this. I'll link it down below for you guys. It's such an easy breakfast recipe. It's basically like a giant pancake that you bake in the oven, so it's very hands off. But it's a lot more heavy on eggs than it is on flour, so it ends up being like pretty protein rich. It's a little bit more filling and it's so good. My kids love it. Matt and I love it. And Matt usually mixes it up early in the morning, and he kind of takes care of making breakfast, right?
Yep.
That's right.
So here is my Dutch baby. I got a little bit of syrup on the side to dip in. I'm starving, so I'm going to dig in. Hey you guys, okay, so it's a little while after breakfast. It is in fact 10 o'clock on the dot right now. And I'm having what I deem my second breakfast that I have pretty much every day. If you're an Office fan, you remember when the episodes when Pam was pregnant, she would talk about her second breakfast and her second lunch. So for fun, I like to call it second breakfast, but it actually kind of is. I am always hungry between breakfast and lunch, and like a little snack does not cut it. If I just eat like a little something, I'm still hungry, and then I start to feel like I start to feel the effects of being too hungry and if I wait until lunch. So I like to have more of like a mini meal, and pretty much every single day I eat eggs. So obviously I did have some eggs in our breakfast this morning, but for my second breakfast, I pretty much always have 2 or 3 eggs, just depending. If we have like oatmeal for breakfast, I'll do 3, but I already had some eggs with my breakfast, so I'm gonna do 2. And I basically just fry them on a skillet and eat them that way. In my first trimester, when I was still feeling really sick, I would always eat them with toast, because toast was always something that I could stomach. And I always luckily crave eggs when I'm pregnant, so I have no problem eating those. Nowadays that I'm feeling a lot better, I usually just eat like half of an avocado with the eggs. Not that there's anything wrong with toast, but avocado is such a great fat source. You need fat when you're pregnant. You need to eat fat. It's really important, especially for baby's brain development. And it's also just more filling, and it's also just really tasty. Like, I actually crave it. But I wanted to just spotlight eggs really quickly, because these are one of the best foods you can eat when you're pregnant. One, they're easily accessible, and they tend to cost less. Even if you're buying higher quality eggs that are like pasture raised, they tend to cost less than, you know, something like grass-fed meat. And they are packed with nutrition. So obviously, you know, they are protein rich. I think everybody knows that eggs contain protein, but they're also a complete protein, which hardly any protein sources are, meaning they contain all essential amino acids, all the amino acids that we can't make in our body and have to get from diet. Eggs contain all of them, which is pretty awesome. But there's a lot of other key points to eggs too. So one of the biggest ones is choline, which is a nutrient that's similar to B vitamins that you probably haven't heard a ton about, but is very important for fetal brain development. It's actually like kind of on the same plate as folate, which I'm sure if you've ever been pregnant, you've heard so much about folate or folic acid, which I don't love, and that's the synthetic version, and how important it is for brain and spine development and to avoid neural tube defects. Well, choline is kind of like right up there with it, but isn't talked about as much, and eggs are an excellent source of choline. Also, DHA. DHA is incredibly important for fetal brain development as well. It's also important for mom's health, and eggs can be a great source of DHA. Now, if you are getting standard eggs with, you know, chickens that are raised in barns and in cages and don't have access to the outdoors and aren't eating grass and bugs, basically don't have a very varied diet, they're gonna be much lower in DHA, but these are from our backyard chickens. So they spend lots of time grazing on grass, they eat bugs, they eat all kinds of stuff out there, seeds and nuts that they find, or maybe not nuts, but seeds that they find. So they have a very varied diet, which means their eggs are gonna be higher in DHA. They're also great sources of fat-soluble vitamins as well as B vitamins. But here's the thing, ladies, you have to eat the yolks, okay? Break up with eating egg whites. I literally never want you to eat just an egg white ever again. Whenever I see people only eating egg whites, I'm like, you have no idea what you're missing out on. You have no idea. And it's not like eggs are like super high in calories. Like the amount of nutrition you're getting when you eat the whole egg, for the amount of like calories it actually provides, it's pretty incredible. So you need to eat the yolk. The yolk is where pretty much all of that nutrient density lies. The egg white does contain protein, but you gotta eat the whole thing. Don't be scared to eat the yolks. Literally, unless you have like an egg allergy, I would be eating eggs every single day as a pregnant woman. I mean, I literally am, but I'm also like recommending that to you because they are so nutrient dense. And as long as you can stomach them, I would definitely be eating them. Okay, so here's what I'm eating. I've got 2 fried eggs. I put cheese on them, and of course, hot sauce. This is my favorite sauce, hot sauce, or Hank's sauce is the other one that I really like. And I always crave hot sauce on my eggs. In pregnancy, it's like I can't go without it. And then I've got half of an avocado that I just put some of the Trader Joe's everything seasoning on. It's so good on top of avocados when they're just like plain. It adds so much flavor. It takes 2 seconds. And yeah, so this is my little second breakfast. Okay guys, so I am about to eat lunch. So for lunch, I just heated up some chili that we had in the fridge. This, being able to just like heat something up, whether it's leftovers or if I make like a big pot of chili or soup or, you know, something to that nature, big thing of chicken salad, having something that's already made ahead of time that I can just heat up or, you know, dish out or whatever for lunch is so key for me. When I don't have something like that to rely on, sometimes I'll do more of like a snack plate, or I can sometimes maybe make a sandwich, but I feel like lunch is always a struggle unless I have something prepped like this. And I love chili. It's starting to get like a little bit actually chilly outside, so it's kind of that season. It's super obviously protein rich. This one's made with shredded chicken, and I also have like chili beans, like a chili bean mix in there, topped it with a little bit of sour cream. So this will be super filling, perfect kind of mid-meal day for me at least. I'm also having, this is a little slice of like Irish brown bread that I made. My mom recently gave me this old book and I've actually been loving going through it, and we just made, it was like the easiest bread ever, and just kind of threw it together, baked it, and that is brown bread to go with my chili. And then I'm also drinking a little bit of kombucha. They actually, I love Health-Ade. That's one of my favorite brands next to the Synergy is it GTS? But they had these at Costco, which was so exciting because this is one of like, I think the best store-bought kombucha brands. And I love this flavor, the Pink Lady Apple. I am personally not at all afraid to drink kombucha while pregnant. Some people, maybe you wouldn't want to because there's like, I think like the tiniest bit of technically alcohol in it, but it's not an alcoholic beverage. And kombucha it's a fermented tea. So it's got tons of natural probiotics in there. So it's great for gut health, which is super important all the time, but also when you're pregnant too. So sipping on a little bit of this, and here is my lunch. Hello again. So I am about to get dinner started. I'm actually about to put some chicken in the crock pot. I'm doing a super simple dinner tonight. I'm just cooking up some chicken, and then we're just gonna have rice and roasted broccoli. It's an incredibly easy meal. I have been all about easy meals recently because, especially when I was still really sick, like, I mean, I barely cooked. I don't know if I cooked at all in the first trimester, maybe like a couple times because I was just so sick. But then after that, as I was starting to feel a little bit better, I started to cook more. But end of the day is when, one, my energy is low, but also I feel sicker, more and more sick as the day goes on. So dinners have been super easy. If Matt can cook something easy, he'll do it. But I have been loving the crock pot, which I hadn't really been using very much, but I've been using it so much. So whether it's just, you know, getting something started, like today it's gonna be chicken. If I'm gonna cook chicken, my preferred method is on the grill or in the crock pot, because both ways it turns out like pretty juicy and tender, which is the only way that I obviously want to eat chicken. But also I've been loving the crock pot to do like full meals, like dump everything in, and I do either the bulk or all of the cooking in the middle of the day. So when that 5 o'clock hour rolls around, when I'm really tired and I don't really want to cook, it's already done for me, which is amazing. So I can make something that's healthy, that's nutritious, that's wholesome, for obviously me to eat while I'm pregnant, but also for my family too. So the crock pot has been a huge lifesaver. Okay, so I'm about to put, these are just Costco organic chicken breasts. I was just defrosting them. I'm gonna pop those in here. I'm gonna put some oil, salt and pepper, and then I'm going to put this Japanese barbecue sauce on it. My cousin actually recommended this to me and said it was like one of his favorite things he ever tried. He said he saw it on TikTok, and it was apparently very popular on TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok. I am a grandma. He's actually way older than me, which is funny, but he said that he learned about this on TikTok and he tried it and he said it was so good. So of course I had to try it, and it is, it's really, really good. It's not like your typical barbecue sauce. It's definitely more that, I'm gonna say it's a little bit more like a soy sauce, but it's really good. So I'm just gonna like put that all over the chicken kind of as like a marinade. And then when we actually eat it, we can put on a little bit more as like a sauce. Okay, so here's my chicken. I just seasoned it. I added a little bit of water to the bottom of the crock pot, a little bit of avocado oil, and then squirted a bunch of this Becca's sauce on top. And now, I'm just gonna put it into my crock pot, get the lid on, and then I'm gonna set it for, on high, sorry, for about 4 hours, which I might pull it a little bit earlier than that. That'll get us to a little bit after 6, so we'll probably take it out a little bit earlier than that. But now dinner has been started. Okay, it's like 4 o'clock and I'm pretty hungry, so I'm having a snack. Having half of a perfect part that was in the fridge, and I also grabbed an apple. Just grabbing something super quick because we're about to go outside and play, right?
Yeah, we are, and I'm so excited. I had an apple too.
All right. Okay, you guys, so I am about to get the rest of dinner ready. The chicken is still cooking away in my crock pot, and I'm going to make some rice and broccoli to go with it. So I'm actually gonna be cooking arborio rice, which is most often used for risotto, which I'm not making risotto. But it's rice nonetheless, and it's just what I happen to have in our pantry, so that's what I'm gonna use. I've actually never cooked, I don't think I've ever cooked arborio rice before, but I looked it up online and saw you wanna do 1 cup rice to 1 3/4 cup water, at least the blog post I looked at. So I'm gonna get that going in my Instant Pot and we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so now for broccoli. This big bag of already chopped up broccoli that we got from Wegmans, which is nice, saves me some time and also some cleanup. And I just laid them out on this baking tray. And how I usually roast veggies is oil. This is avocado oil. You could also use olive oil. And I just drizzle it all over, nothing really special, but you want to make sure they have, each little floret has some oil on it, so it kind of crisps up. That's always what I'm looking for. And then really simple, salt, pepper, and then I roast them in the oven for about 20 minutes. I'm just looking for them to get a little bit like toasty brown at 400. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I also put garlic powder on too. All right, here is my dinner. Got the crock pot chicken. It's like pulling apart tender, which is the best. Rice, we add a little bit of butter and salt, and then broccoli, and then I topped it off with a little bit more of this sauce. Looks so good. All right, you guys, it is finally that time of day where I get to just relax and unwind. I got these from Trader Joe's, kind of on a whim when I was there picking up a couple things. They're pumpkin biscotti, made with pumpkin puree and spices. and they're actually so good. They're like a small-ish size, and they're delicious. They're actually way more flavorful than I expected them to be. I usually don't love biscotti, but these are actually really, really good. So I'm gonna have a few of those. Got myself a glass of milk, because I do love a glass of milk. So I'm gonna have that. And I'm gonna put my feet up.
Two Loker minis, waffles.
Wafers.
Wafers. Costco free samples. Kids loved it. Had to buy an 80 pack.
You're a sucker.
It's like $8.
What a steal.
Delicious.
For waffles. All right, you guys, but that is all I have for today's video. Thank you so much for watching this What I Eat in a Day. As always, let me know down in the comments below what kind of videos you guys would like to see next, because I so value that feedback. I find it so helpful, and I obviously want to make videos that you guys want to watch. If you have yet to subscribe, make sure to do that. I would love for you to join my little community here on YouTube, but that is all I have. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.